Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well, and I'm excited to be back today with another video. It is officially March, and so that means that I get to share with you guys all of my numbers for February, how much I sold, what I made from all the pieces I sold, what my average cost of goods was, what my average sales price was, and also the most exciting things that I sold this month, the things I sold for the most amount of money. And we have quite a few things to share with you, which is really exciting because, as many of you guys know, February was a very trying month for most resellers. At least resellers that I know of had a really difficult start to the month if they were selling on Poshmark, because they did roll out a new algorithm change. And I've actually shared a little bit about that in a different video, so I will give that a card up above so you can watch that if you haven't seen it already. But basically from February 1st to the 15th, sales were crazy. I literally sold probably an eighth of what I sold the entire month in the first 15 days of February, and then I sold everything else in the second half of February. So it's a very interesting month. I'm gonna be sharing a lot of those numbers with you. It should be a good time. If you guys enjoy these what sold videos, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you are not already subscribed, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. It is the best and easiest free way to support my channel. And I also, before we jump into the video, wanted to just give you guys a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. The video I posted right before this one was sharing my health journey with you guys and talking about the chronic illness I have, autonomic dysfunction. And honestly, I was expecting that video to do absolutely terribly. I wasn't expecting anyone to really care, but I just felt like I really needed to share it in case it helped somebody else. And you guys have blown me away with all of your kind responses and kind words, and the people that have been sharing about their own health struggles. And I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being so kind and for sharing your journeys with me. It really does mean the world to me, and I'm really grateful. So thank you guys for that. But now let's jump into today's video, which is sharing what I sold in the month of February. I'm trying out a new system of keeping track of all my numbers. So instead of having my phone to share all my numbers with you, I have my MacBook today. So let's jump into this video. In total, we sold things on majority on Poshmark, but then I also did quite a few direct sales this month. And by quite a few, I mean 3, but it was more than in past months. So I did make 3 direct sales to you guys, my viewers, and I love that. And then I also did sell things on Mercari. So those are the 3 different places that I made money from this month: PayPal, Mercari, and Poshmark, with Poshmark being the biggest portion of that pie. So the majority of the sales are coming from my Poshmark. Jeremy, my husband, he also has a Poshmark. This month affected him so poorly though. He literally, for the first 15 days of February, I don't know if he sold anything. He usually pulls a pretty good weight of our sales as well. I usually make more sales, but he usually makes like around $1,000 of sales, which is great. This month, he made like $400 of sales. So I know that Poshmark's algorithm change affected me, but it definitely affected him more so as a smaller seller. So that was very interesting to note as well. But in total, through all of the 3 channels, plus his closet and mine on Poshmark, we did $3,301 in sales, which honestly, I'm gonna take. I'm excited about that. It's been a while since we've broken the 3,000 number. And also for it being this month where we had a terrible 2 weeks of sales, I'm happy with that. If we can continue this kind of traction, and then our next month is looking really good, I just need to keep on listing and sourcing. It was a big surprise and a very big blessing. I wasn't expecting to have such a high total for this month. But yeah, so that worked out really well. And then I added up all of our net profit from all of the different platforms, which honestly took me forever because it's all scattered information. So our gross profit was $2,630.10. So that is what we took home from everything after Poshmark, Mercari, everything took their fees. And then we had about $200 in our cost of goods. So we made about $2,400 of net profit at the end of the day, which I will happily take. This is the major part of how I make money, but it was very exciting this month too because I did have one partner, I did have one sponsor in a video, so that also adds to the money I was able to make this month. And this month I actually also did make a good chunk of change on YouTube. So this isn't gonna, I'm not gonna share this every month, but since you guys are here today, I might as well share it with you, right? YouTube makes a lot different money for a lot different people. Me personally, in this past month, I made about $400 on YouTube just from AdSense. So that's about $100 a week, which a year ago today, I made absolutely $0 from YouTube. So I will be very happy with making almost $500 for something I love. And I also did the same thing when I didn't make any money from it. So that is a little sneak peek, a little inside glimpse into what I make from YouTube. Not very much, but it's still something. So yes, in total, we made $3,301, $700 of that, $704 is what we sold before the 18th. Oh, I think I said the 15th earlier, the 18th. $704, that's all we sold before Poshmark changed their algorithm back. $700 out of $3,300. So we made $2,600 in the last 2 weeks of February and $700 in the first 2. Very, very crazy. I'll even throw up the graph if you'd like to see. It's just like, boom, we actually made sales in the second half of February, not the first half. If you guys had a similar story, please let me know down below. I find it very interesting to hear everybody else's stories as well, but I mean, I feel like that is definite proof that the Poshmark algorithm change was not helping the majority of people. So let's break down that total now by the 3 different platforms we sold on. Poshmark, again, is gonna have the majority. So out of that $3,300, we sold $3,000 on Poshmark. So on Poshmark, we sold 77 items. And our average sales price has come up since last month. I believe last month, my average sales price was like $23. Not very great, not the best number. This month, it was $38.96. So I'm very happy with that. I feel like that is some good progress. I want to keep on bringing that number up, but going a trend upward is a good trend, am I right? So we are taking that. I personally, on my Poshmark, sold 62 items for $2,500. Jeremy sold 15 items for $500. So that's how that shakes out. We'll go over all of our big sales too in a little bit, but I'm gonna share with you guys what we sold on Mercari and PayPal as well. Mercari, we only sold 3 items this month. Those were all on my Mercari. So in sales, we made $151 on Mercari from 3 things, which isn't bad, honestly. That's around a $50 sales price for those 3. So from that, our gross profit would be $130.62. So again, that is not bad. That is raising up our average sales price. We love that. So 3 sales on Mercari, and we also had 3 sales on PayPal. So this was me sending things directly to some of you guys, my viewers, which was so sweet. I love it when you guys are willing to work with me on PayPal. If you ever would like to, feel free to message me or send me an email. There's a lot of options there. And I appreciate it because then I don't lose a cut of how much I make to a service, to Poshmark or to Mercari. They always take at least like 5–10%. Poshmark takes 20%. So I do appreciate doing PayPal when I can. And because that is helping me out, I like to give free shipping when I send things on PayPal. I usually just cover that myself. So on PayPal, I had 3 orders. I have 2 single orders where it's just 1 piece I sent out and then 1 bundle of 3 things. All of these things that they bought were from the bins. So I had about $7 in my cost of goods and then about $10 to ship each one out. So $37 into it, but we made $150 from those orders. So I didn't lose that much money. My net profit from that is $113. So not too bad at all. Those are how all the numbers shake out. The majority obviously is coming from Poshmark, and that's where I invest the majority of my time. So that makes sense. And I'm really happy with that. I'm really pleased that we are able to sell that much even in a really terrible month. It was not the greatest of situations for the first 2 weeks. I spent a lot of time thinking I was never gonna sell anything ever again. So I'm very happy to be at this place where this is one of my best months ever. And for half of the month, I literally sold like 10 things, which is crazy. So those are the overall numbers, but now we're gonna jump into the individual sales. I'm gonna cover the things that sold for the most money this month, and I'm gonna share the pictures with you on the screen of what the sold things look like. I know this is usually my favorite part of what sold videos just because it's nice to be able to give an actual picture to the piece that people are selling. It's nice to hear a big number, but I think looking at the actual bricks that brought you to what you sold in the end is more important. So we're gonna talk about the pieces and the brands of the things that sold. I had to limit the things that I'm gonna share with you to things that sold for over like $58. If I included everything that sold for $50 and above, we would be here all day, which is great. That's a great problem to have. So let's jump into these sales of mine. Now, the first thing that I'm going to include is something that sold just the other day, and it is this very nice Calvin Klein wool kind of pea coat. I was very worried when I picked up lots of these different coats at the bins that I would have them sitting all throughout the summer, but I've actually sold at least 2 of them in this last week. So praise God, I will take it. So I sold this one for $68. I got this in the bins. I paid about probably $2, $3, somewhere around there. My Goodwill outlet, you have to pay $1.49 per pound. So since this was a wool coat, it's probably a little bit more expensive than just a pound. So somewhere under $5. I made $68 on the sale. So at the end of the day, I probably took home around $50 from this piece. So again, count that as a win. Then this next piece is actually a bundle. This came from a viewer, so I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much for watching and then also purchasing from my shop. Their Poshmark name is Shop with Leash, and I'm very grateful. This person bundled 8 items together. And quite a few of these are from my Dollar Thrift Challenge. One of these is one of the quilted sunbonnet suit crew necks that I made. If you guys missed that video, that was a really good video. You should watch it. But this was a bundle of 8 items for $310. So I'm counting that as one of my highest sales because I don't think I've ever had a bundle that high before, and it's really exciting to me. Bundles are the best way for me to sell and move my inventory, so I really appreciate that. So from that $310, we make $240.33, which is a big chunk of change. And the reason why it was so high is because in this bundle was the Linda Lundstrom coat that I just hauled not too long ago, and that was listed at $150. So that's why this whole bundle is probably a little bit more expensive. But that was a very good sale for us. And with bundles sort of this size, I throw in a few items for free. I didn't even think to charge her for a couple of these items in this bundle. So that was a good one for us again. Now we're getting into the Sunbonnet Sue portion of the video. Each one of these sold for at least $50, usually around $59. I listed them at $59. So something that happened with my Sunbonnet Sue project, it was a quilting project where I took all these Sunbonnet Sues off of this quilt that was just really falling apart, and I gave them new lives on the front of crew necks and on the backs of denim jackets, and it went really well. Thank you guys so much for your support. I sold everything except for one. There's one left. The size medium denim jacket is still in my closet. It's the last piece from the collection. So I listed all these pieces at $59, and that was what I was hoping to sell each one for. And a lot of people bought them outright, which is so nice. But I kind of forgot that I have my virtual assistant set to sending 10% off offers and $5.95 shipping after about 10 minutes of somebody liking something. So a few of the pieces sold for less than the $59, but that's totally okay. I use Posher VA, and I've talked about them in one other video, and literally, guys, they have changed my life. If this is the price I pay, that I lose a few dollars on a couple things, I do not care, because I literally have lost so much anxiety from using Posher VA. This is not sponsored. But I do not worry about sharing anymore. I don't worry about sending offers anymore. It's like a newfound freedom, and I am here to tell you, if you are thinking about doing it, you should definitely do it. It's not very expensive. I also have a code. It is just my name, Rebekah Allison. I'll put the link. The link is in the description. If you want to try it out, you get a free month trial, I think, or 2 weeks. You get a free 2-week trial. And then you also, with my code, you can get 20% off your first month. It's really good. I highly suggest it. If you want to use my code, I would also appreciate it. We sold the first sunbonnet suit for $59. We sold the gray sunbonnet suit for $50. We sold the denim jacket sunbonnet suit for $50. We sold another sunbonnet suit for $59. And I believe there's one more in here. Oh, that's 4 of them, and the 5th one was inside of the bundle. So those are 5 $59 sales. I will definitely take those as a win. I love, love, love that my mom and I did that project together, and it has been such a fun time, and we have another quilted project in the works, so stay tuned. So for each of those, we made about $40-something, and some of that profit is also going to go to my mom. And then the next thing that sold for a good amount this month was this Le Sport Sac bag. Now, I wouldn't include this. This is only a $50 sale, but I still thought I'd include it because one of my viewers, I think it was actually Jen Smiley. I'm pretty sure it was you. Comment down below if this was you. Somebody commented and told me exactly what the style name was, and that was from 2003, so it was almost vintage, and I was like, oh my gosh. It was so helpful having that knowledge because I listed this originally at $35, and then I got that comment, so I raised the price to $50, and it sold outright. So the Sport Sac, man, the Sport Sac does well for me. I don't know why, but it does. So I would always be on the lookout for that, and I got that in the bins for $1, so we made $40 from that, so $39 in net profit. Then the next thing that I sold was this Eileen Fisher 100% Irish linen little blouse. And now these pictures are terrible. I took these such a long time ago. I found this in the bins and wow, this is very wrinkled. If I was doing this now, I would have steamed this and I would have hung it up, but there you go. You see me modeling this very wrinkly shirt, but we sold it for $58. So from that $58, we made $46.40. For something I got in the bins, I made about $45 in net profit. Pretty happy with that. And then the next piece is the biggest sale of the month, and it was the pair of Free People Preston boots. I am obsessed with these boots. I think they're so cute. I never got to wear them, but I did have a viewer purchase them, so thank you so much. And we sold these for $170. I made $136 after Poshmark took its cuts. I paid almost $60 for these. So I only made about $60 worth of profit, but I was still so glad that I picked these up because man, they were so cute. I love them. They were in my size too, so it was very dangerous. And then the next thing that sold was this Starter Eagles jacket. It was a vintage starter jacket. Super cool piece. I sold it for $80. We made it $64 at the end of the day. Such a nice piece, found that in the bins. It was a great sale, and I love to find those vintage starter jackets, vintage, just kind of NFL pieces in general. They do really well for me. And then the next piece is something I picked up on my Valentine's Day getaway weekend with my husband in Philadelphia. It was this Lululemon rain Rubble jacket. We sold it for $120. And I think I paid like $30 for this. So again, not a huge margin compared to my normal bins prices, my cost of goods of being like $1, but we still made $60 from it. And I sold it in one day. So we sold it for $120. I made $94.50. We paid about $32 for it. So again, right around $60 worth of profit, but I am getting more and more used to paying up a little bit to make a good profit in a short amount of time. Because I'm thinking even with the Free People boots, I spent $60, I made $60, but they sold in like 2 days. That Rain Rebel jacket, I paid $32, but I made $60 in one day. So I think that's much more worth it than spending a couple dollars and only making $20 back, but it's sitting for 6 months to a year. So that's where I stand with it. If you guys have a different opinion, let me know. But this next piece I sold, if you guys have been watching my $1 thrift challenge series, then you would have seen it, but it is this cool jacket, KUHL. It is something I found in the bins with my friend Martsy Chick. We were at the bins together doing a little bit of bin thrifting, and I found this jacket and it sold for $70. So we made $56 of gross profit. I probably paid $1 or less. It was a puffer, so it was really light. So I made at least $55 from this piece, and I'm very, very pleased with that. If I found that brand again, especially in the bins, I would pick it up like that. It did take a while to sell, but it was worth it in the end. Then the next piece that sold was this pair of Spanx kind of leather look leggings. I didn't actually find the exact name for these, but I found some pictures of the leggings and I put those up for them. I got these at my local Goodwill for $3.99, and I sold them for $51. So from that $51, I made $39.30, so $35 of profit about. And then we have one of my favorite brands to resell, Patagonia. I feel like there's a couple pieces coming up here from Patagonia, and they're a pretty consistent seller for me. So this first one is this red Better sweater, and we sold that for $58. I do believe that that was sitting for a while. I either got this in the bins or at an Uptown Cheapskate. I cannot remember which one I got it from. It was part of our $1 thrift challenge. So from that, we made about $40 of net profit. And then this is a really exciting sale because I love to find handcrafted, handmade things in the bins and give them a new life. I love finding quilts and redeeming them. I love finding just regular pieces like sweaters and redeeming those. And this piece is no exception. This had no tag. This was a handmade, hand knit, really chunky like fisherman's sweater. And I sold this for $67. I do think that brand has a lot to do with selling a lot of different pieces. Some pieces are not cute unless you see the brand tag, if you know what I mean. Or people think that at least. I thought this was a really special piece. It was handmade. And I saw the value in it, so I grabbed it, and I think some other people saw the value too because it got a lot of positive attention. So from that $67, we made $52.10, so about $50 of profit because I picked it up in the bins. Such a good find. I'm not afraid to pick up really nice and well-made pieces if they don't have a brand. I think that they still do really well for me. And the next piece is another piece I found in the bins, and it was this North Face puffer coat that was in great condition. It was in a size small, so I thought it would take a while to sell, but I think it sold within a day or two. for $75. I think I listed it at $100. Somebody offered me $75. I took it because it was part of the dollar thrift challenge and I bought it for $1. So from that $75, we made $60 in profit. So probably about $59 in net profit. Another great sale. And from that same haul, I also sold these Dojo jeans from 7 for All Mankind. This is my first time finding the elusive Dojo jean. I know that those are pretty much the only style from them that does really well, but I sold them for $72. I think that I had them up for $80, so $72 was a great offer. From $72, we made $57.60, so about $56 of net profit. Definitely happy with that sale. And then we sold, this is another Patagonia piece. I knew this piece was in here somewhere, and it was this Patagonia kind of Sherpa-y piece. This is the Patagonia Men's Retro Pile Fleece Pullover, and it was in a size large. If you find this exact style, it did really well. I sold it within a few hours for $72. I had 2 different offers on it. This apparently is a sought after style, so commit that to memory. But $72, from that $72, we made $57.80. So again, I got this one I didn't get in the bins. I got this one at an Uptown Cheapskate. They were selling, I think, for like $40. It was on sale for 20 something. Still worth it. I sold it very quickly and I made a good amount of money from it. I actually used store credit to buy it, so I didn't pay anything out of pocket, which is amazing. And the last thing in the little special sale section of the things that sold for a good amount is the only piece that Jeremy sold for over 50 something dollars. So bless his heart, he has had a rough month, but this one is the Everly Free People jumpsuit. And this I have not shared with my Dollar Thrift Challenge people yet. This is part of the Dollar Thrift Challenge, so this is a good sale. And this he sold for $63 on his Poshmark, which means we made almost $50 of profit, and that's gonna go into our challenge bank. So we are going to be working with that to increase that money, snowball it, and get to a good amount. So that was the most interesting sales. I did make some really bad sales this month too. I had a lot of things that I was just looking to move. I think the worst sale I had sold for $4.87 in a bundle. I sold 2 different things I picked up in the bins probably a year and a half ago for $10 for the 2 of them, I think is how much I sold it for. So not super great, but happy to see things move. And that goes to show you, sometimes you can sell a pair of boots like I did for $170, and then sometimes you're happy to see a $10 sale where you get rid of 2 things that you've been sitting on for years. So it's okay to have small sales, it's okay to have big sales. We wanna have a mixture of the 2 so we can keep things going. But those were all of the things that I sold this month that we're gonna cover in today's video. I wanna hear from you guys, how are your sales this month? I know a lot of people probably aren't going to have very good sales because of that Poshmark change. I'm excited to hear from you guys how it affected your month overall. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you do want to try out Posher VA, I'm not even telling you this because they're sponsoring me. I just think it's really helpful. Give it a try. Follow my link in the description. I think you will not be disappointed. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And until the next video, bye.